Alright, what's up guys, and welcome to the layout, or not my layout, but my friend Brian's layout is where I'm running trains on right now until I get the ability to build the Southern Middle District. So for right now we are running trains here, and thought I'd give you guys my locomotive roster that I've got here. So we'll start off with the NS stuff. As you can see, I've already got a lot of the NS roster covered, but I still need a lot more for in terms of how many trains are going to be running on the Southern Middle District. So the NS stuff we've got here in alphabetical order, so we'll just start over here at the lowest number. And to start off, we have the NS 1070. It's an Athearn Genesis, the Wabash Heritage Unit. So most of this stuff is just stock right now. I haven't done too much with it weathering wise and stuff. I'll get into that a little bit later. If it is weathered, it's because I bought it from somebody already weathered. Next up, we have an older Genesis SD70, the 2528. Then we have a Genesis SD70M flared radiator, one of the new runs, 2607. Then we have a couple of SD70M-2s. The first one over there, the 2657, is an MTH that I have not gotten around to changing out the couplers on it. Still got those MTH couplers, which I don't really like, but the good thing about MTH is they give you some Kadies in the box, so I can switch those out eventually. And then the 2725 over here is an Athearn Genesis. And an older Athearn ready to roll GP40-2, so I got that for some locals. Even though the interesting thing is on the real life Southern Middle District, which actually in real life is the Southern East District and the Southern West District, they don't use a lot of 4-axles on locals. They use a lot of basically road power. Like right now, as I'm recording this, what they've got down at Princeton is 2 SD70 standard cabs, an SD70M, and an SD70M-2. So, yeah, great local power. So, next up we have another Athearn Genesis, GP49, the 4603. Moving on, we have another EMD standard cab. This one's a ready-to-roll Athearn, 6309 and SD40E, rebuild SD50. This one has been weathered a little bit. Basically, it's got a dull coat on it, and I think that's about it. Then we have a pair of Genesis SD60Ms from the new run, the 6774 and the 6805. So we've got those, and then we have a SD80 Mac, the 7208, which I have yet to put any detail parts on. That's the only thing I don't like about Kato, and I probably sound like a spoiled millennial here, but I really don't like putting all the detail parts on Katos, and I vowed to get as few Katos as I can, just because I don't really have the time to put detail parts on, at least not right now. A couple more Katos here. These, luckily for me, already had the detail parts already on. We have 290 Max. One of them is repainted into NS Horsehead paint, which in real life is not the case, but I still thought it was cool, so I went ahead and got it, the 7290. And then this one, 7293, is like the ones in real life, still in UP paint, the ones that haven't gone into the SD70 ACU program yet. Still has the "We Will Deliver" logo back there, which is kind of cool. Then we have a Walther's Proto GP60 from the new run, 7119. This one's really nice. I have yet to put DCC in it, but it looks really nice and I really like it. So that one will work pretty well for some road trains and stuff. Then we have a lot of Intermountain ES40 DCs. I mean, they're everywhere right now down on the Southern, so use a lot of these for like Mount Carmel coal trains and stuff. Got the 7515 and the 7519 here, which is weathered just a little bit, so it looks pretty good. Doesn't run at the moment, though. I need to delve in a little bit and figure out what the deal with it is, but it doesn't run at the moment. 7524 still stock, haven't done anything to it, as is the 7527 here has been weathered. As you can see, has got PTC antennas installed, so this one's pretty good to go. It has loc sound in it, so it sounds really good. And then we have the 7550, which is just stock, no sound. Now we have a pair of ES44 ACs from Intermountain, the Central Georgia Heritage Unit, the 8101, and the 8108. These things are really hard to find. I need more AC Gevos, and I'm probably going to have to start getting some MTH ones, but these things have been extremely hard to find. I was amazed I even found this one, the 8108, but well, any of them that aren't Heritage units are hard to find. I can find most of the Heritage units just fine. It's straight NS paint that's really hard to find, so I do what I can, get what I can with those. A pair of Atlas C40-8Ws from the new run. 8323 over here is stock. Haven't done anything to it yet. It's just a master silver, so it doesn't even have DCC in it yet. 8417, on the other hand, though, does have DCC and QSI sound in it, which I'm probably going to get changed out eventually. I don't like QSI sound, but it has been weathered. Looks really good. I will give them credit, though. It's probably the best sounding QSI sound I've ever had, so it's not too terrible. Then we have another Atlas Master Gold. This one's a little bit older. It's C40-8, 8690. Still needs some detail parts here. As you can see, the front handrails aren't on. I don't think neither are the back handrails. Nope. It's still missing a few other things, so got to put those on eventually. Didn't get this one too long ago, a couple weeks ago or something like that, so fairly new addition to the roster here. And then we have a pair of C40-9Ws. The first one here, 8936, is a Kato, which, again, luckily for me, had all the detail parts already installed. And then we have a ready-to-roll Athearn over here, their newest run of Dash 9s. One of the Operation Lifesavers, 9256. I need to get some of the MTH Dash 9s they just released because I don't like how Kato and Athearn both messed up on the headlights and put them in the wrong place. NS has high headlights on their Dash 9s. Both Kato and Athearn messed that up and put them on the nose, so nothing really going for them there in that department. But they are Dash 9s, and I can probably fix that myself if I ever get the time to. So that is the NS stuff for the roster, and I'll be back momentarily for you, and we'll look at the rest of the stuff on my roster that's not NS, all the foreign power. And we're back. I know it was only a moment for you, but it's a couple of minutes here for me. But we'll start off here. I have more INRD SD90 Max than this, but these are probably, I'm only going to keep about 3 of them. None of these, as you can see, have detail parts on them. These are all Katos. These will be used for the 70W, 71W coal trains on the Southern Middle District. In real life, those trains go to Bear Run Mine on the INRD with NS power. We're going to flip the power agreements on the Southern Middle District and run them with INRD power. So these will, and obviously at least one of these will need to be renumbered. As you can see, I have 2 9002s here, because 9002 and 9005 are the only road numbers that Kato did for these. So I have to renumber at least one of them, but we do have 390 Max for the W coal trains on the Southern Middle District. Now we go over to the Indiana Southern Power for the layout. Indiana Southern, basically these 3, the Powerline GP40-2s, I had these custom done for me, as nobody has done these. The 4051 here is an Atlas, while the 4043 and the 4037 here are both Athearn Genesis. These will be used on the PL1 local that will come in at Oakland City and interchange with NS at Oakland City. And for those of you that have no idea where any of this stuff is, eventually I will get a map up of the Southern Middle District here for the layout, so Some of these places will be a little more recognizable for you. And then we have a pair of leasers here. Indiana Southern in real life has 4 SP patch tunnel motors, 2 of them lettered for Kyle, 2 of them lettered for, I'm blanking on who the other 2 are. TP and W are the other 2. This one, although not lettered for either of them, is a custom job, Athearn ready to roll. So figure I can use that, and I don't know if I'm honestly going to use this one or not. This one has a problem with one of the couplers not wanting to come out, but this is a custom job as well. It's a LTEX 9965. It's also an Athearn ready to roll. If I can figure out how to fix the coupler problem, get the coupler problem out so I can get a decoder in it, it will definitely see some use, but as of right now, it's strictly a DC unit, so we'll have to figure out that issue there eventually. Then we have a couple of CSX units over here. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep either one of these. The 8803, just kind of, I mean, I like CSX SD40s and I like ex-Conrail units, but I don't know if it really fits for the Southern Middle District, so I might have to get rid of this. It's a custom Athearn ready to roll, if I remember right. Then we have an Athearn Genesis SD70M, CSX patch job, still an EMD demonstrator paint, 4675. Again, the SD70Ms rarely venture outside of Florida on CSX, so having one running around on the NS in southern Indiana is probably not very feasible either. So a lot of this stuff is holdover from my previous layout plan, which was Indiana Railroad and Indiana Southern and a little bit of CSX around southern Indiana. So that's why there are a lot more INRD 90 Max than what I have over here, and I've got a lot more Indiana Southern power that you'll see in a minute that's not Powerline Jeep 40s, but it's just like random Rail America power. A lot of it's probably stuff I'm going to end up getting rid of eventually because it just doesn't fit for the Southern Middle District. Then we move over to the UP power. This guy, SP187, I was putting a Rail Pro module in it, which I had a little stint where I tried Rail Pro, but I got to the point where I didn't see the benefits outweighing the negatives with it over DCC, so I just kind of gave up on Rail Pro. But the module that I'd put into it had some radio problems, so I took it out, and just never got back around to doing anything with this guy. New run, Athearn Ready Roll -9, UP 9730, XCNW unit. AC 4400, UP 6887, another AC 4400, 6200, an older Athearn Genesis SD70M, the 4528, and a Genesis Mopac Heritage unit, UP 1982. So that is the UP power. And then right now we have a couple of BNSF units. There'll be a couple more of these because there's going to be some run-through trains, or going to be 2 run-through trains in each direction off the BNSF at Centralia in the Southern Middle District, so we'll need a little bit more BNSF power than this. One of them will be a coal train in each direction, and it'll be a freight going to Chattanooga. So we have a Athearn Genesis ES44AC here, the 5817. Very beautifully weathered here. I did not do this. I definitely don't have the weathering skills, at least at this point, to do anything that looks this good, but this is just a absolutely gorgeous unit. It does not run at the moment either, though, so like a couple of those NS units, NS Gevos over there, so I got to figure out what the deal with this one is. And then we have a ready to roll fake bonnet -9 BNSF 728, so this one definitely is going to see some service on those run-throughs to and from Centralia. A little bit of lease power that'll be running around on the NS. We got the FURX 3031. This one at the moment has a Rail Pro module in it. I got to take that out eventually and get a decoder in it. But Athearn ready to roll there. We got a Kato SD45 rebuild, HLCX 9025. Beautiful custom unit here. And then the CEFX 123, another Kato SD90 Mac. This thing, NS has a few of these running around right now. They don't have the 123 because the 123, if I remember correctly, is now the INRD 9001. So this guy's going to need to be renumbered more than likely if it runs around on NS. But the good thing is the 2 or 3, I don't remember, I think it's 3 that are running around on NS right now, are all still in maroon paint. They haven't been repainted to the new blue paint scheme, so that's good. Just needs a renumber and then it'll be ready to go. And then these 3, I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. These might go into the for sale pile. CEFX 3398, patched out UPSD 40 snoot nose. I mean, it's a good looking unit, but at the same time, it's been kind of a headache for me. I'm not sure if I want to deal with it, so it might go into the for sale pile. These 2 I'm up in the air about because I want to use them for a UP local. Comes out. I had an idea to use a UP local. Comes out of Mount Vernon, goes over and interchanges at Princeton, and then comes back. So I might save these 2 for that local. I'm not really sure. These are both Athearn ready to rolls, older ready to rolls. Got a GP50 here, Furex 2949, and a GP 40-2, if I remember right. Maybe a 38. I don't really remember. 3857. So those, if I can figure out a way to feasibly get in a UP local at Mount Vernon, will probably stay for that. This one, I'm not really sure what the deal with it is. And if you see any other power laying around back here, that's not mine. That's all Brian's power. So if you're noticing any extra power back here, that's not mine. But so I will be back momentarily with the excess power that I've got that's almost definitely going into the for sale pile. So just to add that in here because it is part of the roster at the moment. And we're back once again, and this is the basically what is probably the for sale pile now. Not officially for sale yet, but these are the things that are probably going to go up for sale eventually, because this is the stuff that's holdover from the Indiana Railroad, Indiana Southern Railroad layout that I was planning on doing before the Southern Middle District. So if any of this catches your eye, send me a message or leave a comment, and I'll get back to you about a price if it's something you really want. So we have a Athearn ready to roll TP&W Jeep 40X, the 4056, the only Jeep 40X TP&W has in real life. A Bachmann GP38-2, TP&W 3821, 4 more INRD SD90 Max, 2 INRD ready to roll GP38-2s, the 3804 and the 3805, a Conrail SD50, this is just one I've had for a long time, 6809, Conrail GP38-2, 2943, Athearn Genesis CN GP38-2W 4775, Indiana Ohio GP30 High Hood number 82, that's a Proto 2000, and then some Athearn Ready to Rolls GP50, Central of Indiana 5000, GP38-2 I believe, HATX 505, and then a pair of GP38-2s, HLCX 3805, both of them. So a pair of those if anybody's looking for those. And that'll do it for those, and then the little bit of rolling stock I have coming up in a moment. And now the little bit of rolling stock that I have, I don't have much yet, but I do have a Blueford Shops INRD bay window caboose. Again, that's a holdover from the INRD Indiana Southern layout. And something, again, I'm not sure I'm going to keep, but I do have it. Railbox boxcar, custom weathered, looks really good. I believe, no, I don't remember for sure. I don't want to say for sure who did that because I don't remember now. I do remember These next two, I got 2 steel coil cars. I'm going to end up having a lot of these because there's a lot of these in and out of Toyota at Princeton. So I have a couple of these 2NS ones, and then a WRWK one. This one I do remember for sure was done by Tim Swinton up in Maine. He does Tim's Weather Depot, so he's got some great stuff. Found him on eBay, so go. Shameless plug. I mean, I'm not getting paid for this or anything, but and just he has some great work here. I have a couple of his cars that he's done, so, and he's still doing some work for me on some stuff. So I'd say go check him out. I mean, it's up to you, obviously, but he has some great work here, as you can see. And there's the, if I can get the camera to turn around right here, maybe. There we go. There's the car. Other side of it. Okay. Anyway, and then an Intermountain NS covered hopper. This one's beautiful too. I don't know who actually did this one. I got this one off eBay too, but it's a great looking car. So overall, not much, but I do have a little bit of rolling stock here and some good looking weathered stuff. And I do remember now this was the other Tim Swinton car. I have this rail box, so that one I don't know. I got these two off of eBay also, but I don't know who did them. So I will give credit where credit is due on this stuff if I know who did it. So, but that'll do it for the roster video. So I'll be looking eventually for a track plan, so some of you guys actually know where some of these places I'm talking about are, and I'll put out some updates once I get some new stuff on here. But moving right along with getting stuff planned and in place for the Southern Middle District. Just gotta graduate college and get my own place so I can actually build it. So that will about do it for the roster video. So I will see you guys next time.